faculty, family, Rangers, congratulations. What an amazing day. I'm honored to be able to spend a little bit of today with you. Before I get going, I have to say, what an amazing national anthem, right? Yeah. You're lucky that you're graduating with somebody who's that talented. And I think her dad's a little bit excited too. I heard him somewhere over there. What I wanted to do today is I wanted to tell you 2 or 3 things that I wish somebody had told me when I was about your age. And if you'll indulge me a little bit, I wanted to do that by telling you a few stories from my life. So I grew up in a little bitty town, 700 people. Growing up, my dad was a blue-collar worker. I spent a lot of my childhood working. So my first job was being the janitor in our little country church. My parents didn't own a fireworks stand, but we worked in a fireworks stand every 4th of July and New Year's, selling fireworks and stocking shelves and making change for customers. And then when I was in high school, I spent summers working in the oil field with my dad and my grandfather. And at the end of high school, I decided I was going to go to Ole Miss. So I left and I went to Ole Miss. Not a lot of people from my high school went to Ole Miss. I got there, I had an incredible time. And toward the end of my time at Ole Miss, I decided I was going to run for student body president. And I had a buddy who came up to me right around then, and he said, Shad, look, it's great that you want to do this, and I know you've met a bunch of people since you arrived here, but you're not going to win. And I said, well, why not? And he said, well, you know, some people come to Ole Miss, and all of their high school class goes to Ole Miss, and they've been knowing those people for a long time, and they're just going to win. Whoever that person is going to win, and you can't win that race. And I said, well, look, I've been on campus for 3 years. I've got some ideas for things that I think would make campus a little bit better. So I'm going to run. I'm going to do it. And I had a great time. I ran. I campaigned really hard. I had a lot of fun. First time I'd ever run for anything. My favorite moment of the entire campaign actually was on Election Day. It was pouring rain, and I was standing outside where people vote, and I had this umbrella, and I was wet up to my knees, and the student newspaper took a picture of me just looking like a wet, soaked dog, and I was shaking people's hands as they ran in to go vote. And then Election Day ended, and the votes were counted, and what do you think happened? Anybody? Guesses? I heard somebody say you lost. How dare you? Thought I lost? I did lose, actually. I lost. I lost by 36 votes, but who's counting, right? I lost by 36 votes, and I thought back about the situation, and I was really disappointed at the time, and now I realize that situation was an opportunity. So I kind of planned that I was going to spend some time being student body president my senior year. I didn't win, so I had all this time on my hands, so I went and got a job, and I made my resume a little bit better, and then when I finished school and graduated the next year, I applied for a scholarship that let me study in England, and I won the scholarship. And I honestly think that if I had not lost that student body president race, I would not have won that scholarship that let me go get a master's degree in England. So what's my lesson for you in that story? My lesson is that you're going to leave here, and you're going to set some goals. And sometimes those goals are going to work out. And sometimes those goals are not going to work out. You hear me? Sometimes things are not going to work out. The measure of your success as a person is going to depend on how you respond to failures. It's not going to depend on how you respond to successes. It's going to depend on how you respond to failures. Will you just kind of give up? Will you wallow in it? Or will you set another goal for yourself? And will you go pursue that second goal and that third goal and that fourth goal? That's something I wish somebody had told me, because I realized it after that moment in my life. And it worked out because I think I picked myself up. I had family and friends who helped me pick myself up and do the next thing, pursue the next goal. So, all right, I go off to England. I get a fancy master's degree, and I came back to Mississippi. I moved to Tupelo, and I got my first job. And I thought I was very fancy at that moment. I had a master's degree from a university in England, right? Big stuff. And I assumed that in my first job, I would be there about 2 minutes, and they would make me the boss, right? That's how the real world works. Most of you adults who have worked for a while know that's not at all how the real world works. I got there, and my boss said, look, it's great that you're here. We had an event last night at work. I really need somebody to sweep the floor. Would you mind doing that? And so I thought about it, and I said, where's the broom? So I got the broom. I swept the floor. But the floor was clean after that. And then he said, look, would you help us plan next week's faculty event or colleague event? And I said, yeah, I'll do that. I'll do that. So I planned the next week's event, and that went well. So then he gave me the next job, and then the next most important task. And one by one, if I did the thing well, I got a more important task at work, And eventually, by the time I was done working there, I had job offers to go do a really cool next job, and then a next job after that, and a next job after that. So my lesson number 2 for you is simply this. You're going to go get a job at some point, or you're going to go to the military, or you're going to do something. And maybe one of those first days, somebody's going to say, hey, will you do this hard task? Or this thing that you may feel is beneath you a little bit. Because you're a graduate here now. You've gotten some credentials. My challenge to you is on that day, don't say, well, hey, that's not why I'm here, or I'm too good for that. Pick up a shovel, pick up a broom, do whatever it is, and do it really well. And you will impress your boss. And your boss will give you another important task, and then another important task. Don't be lazy. Don't skirt your duty. Just do the thing that is being given to you and do it well, and the next thing will come. The next thing will happen for you. And honestly, after doing that over and over and over again, that's how I ended up here in this job. So today I'm the state auditor of Mississippi. It's my honor to do this job for the state. I run a team of about 120 people, and what we do, if you've never heard of the state auditor's office, is we dig into people who steal from the government, and if somebody steals from the government, like a politician or somebody who works for the government, we investigate them, and then we take it to a prosecutor and we hold them accountable. We've recovered $75 million over the course of the last 7 years, millions of dollars of your money that got stolen or misspent. And I love this job, but the only reason I'm in this job today, I think, is because I did those first jobs, which were kind of dull sometimes, kind of mundane, and I tried to do them well. So my third lesson for you is this, and it comes from my time as state auditor. I have a great job, but it's difficult some days. It's difficult. Sometimes we have to make powerful or important people mad if we see that they have stolen money or misspent some money. So a few years ago, back in 2020, we had this big case. We found about $100 million of welfare money in Mississippi had been misspent. Some of it had been stolen by some pretty rich people, and some of it had been stolen by folks who are pretty well known in Mississippi. And so we do this investigation, right? And we take it to a prosecutor. And the prosecutor says, okay, you know what? I'm gonna indict 6 people. We're gonna take them to jail. So we went out, we arrested those 6 people. And the week goes by, and I'm at church on Sunday. We're standing there at church. Church service kind of ends. And you know, at the end of church, the organ is playing and everything is winding down, and I'm picking up all the stuff that we got. I've got my baby daughter with me at the time, and my wife's with me. And a woman in the pew in front of me turns around and looks at me, and she says, "You're Shad White." I said, "Yes, ma'am." And she said, "You're the state auditor." I said, "Yes, ma'am." And I also thought, uh-oh, this is not good. Whatever she's about to say is not good. And she said, "You arrested those people this week." I said, "Well, agents from my office arrested some people this week." "Yes, ma'am, in this investigation that we did." And she said, "Well, I know one of those people, and you're wrong, and you ought to be ashamed of yourself." And I thought, well, happy Sunday to you too. It's good. I went home and I thought about that, and I realized, you know, it's not my job in this position to make everybody happy all the time. It's my job to do the right thing consistently over and over and over again. So here's my third lesson for you. No matter what you do, even if you're not state auditor, it doesn't matter. Whatever you do in life, you're going to get into a job and you're going to face an ethical problem. Somebody's going to ask you to cut a corner, or somebody's going to ask you to do something that is not right, or breaks the rules, or lie about something. Everybody in here is going to go through that in their professional life. My challenge to you today is, in that moment, there's going to be 2 things you can choose to do. You can choose to do the easy thing, which will be to lie or break the rules or whatever it is, or you can choose to do the hard thing, the difficult thing, which is also the right thing to do. My challenge to you is, you'll know it when you see it, do the right thing in that moment, because that's what's going to allow you to go to bed at night and sleep soundly, knowing that you did the right thing. Do the right thing in that moment. Here's my final little bit of advice or a thought for you. And this may sound strange to some of you, but I wish somebody had told me this when I was in your shoes. Everything I just talked about was professional, right? It was about your career and your life and planning your professional career. If somebody had told me that the most fulfilling thing that I would do in my life, though, is have a family and have 3 kids, I would have kind of laughed at it, but I'm telling you right now, it's the most fulfilling thing I've done. All of those accomplishments, whatever accomplishments I may have, all the degrees, those are dead letters on the wall to me. There's nothing that compares to my 3 kids, to looking at my baby daughter in the eye when we eat breakfast in the morning. Usually she throws cereal right back at me if I look her directly in the eye in the morning. There's nothing that compares to that. So part of my challenge to you is, think about what kind of family life you want to have, because there is nothing more meaningful. Look up around here right now. You see all these people around here? Those are the people who love you the most in the world. I promise you this, you want to be sitting up there one day looking down on your child doing this exact same thing. I promise you that. So think about that in your life. And my last little bit of advice, find what you love and go do it. For me, I love service. So my hero in my life is my grandfather. My mom's dad served in the military. It's why I serve in the military. He served in World War II. And he was injured in World War II in North Africa when a Nazi explosion shot shrapnel into the back of his neck. Many, many years later, he had a stroke when I was a little boy and lost the ability to speak. But anytime I would go to his house, he would sit down beside me and he would take my hand and he would put it on the back of his neck so that I could feel the scar where that shrapnel went in. And he would walk me over to his desk drawer and he would pull out his desk drawer and he would show me the Purple Heart that he was awarded for his time in World War II. He could not speak, so I don't know what he was trying to tell me, but I have a guess. And my guess is that he was trying to say service to your country is important, young man. Service to your community is important. And so for me, service is motivating to me. What motivates you? Is it healing people? Go heal people. Is it teaching people? Go teach people. Is it building something? Go build a business. Is it serving? Go serve in the military. Whatever it is for you, find that thing and pour yourself into it, and you will be grateful that you used this incredible education to achieve something that you probably didn't think was possible before you walked into these doors. God bless you, Rangers. God bless you, families. It's an honor to be here today. Thank you.